look at your paperclip and go to your organization and then see, oh, wait, I have a WordPress developer and I have a head of support and a head of sales and a head of this and a head of that.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. This is your boy Amit. But today we have a special guest, Aron, with me. Aron, welcome, welcome, welcome. You and
What's
I
up,
have
everyone?
been in the paperclip world making same videos, and here you are in the flesh.
Hello, hello.
Nice
Hello,
to
hello.
meet you.
Nice to virtually meet you too.
Why don't you just tell the viewers what you do and how you got
So
into paperclipping? It's
you're
like
putting me
it's like a gateway drug now for everyone.
you're putting me on the spot. So I'm Aron. I sound American, but I am actually Dutch. I live in the Netherlands. I have been running a home-based business for the past 12, 13 years now, together with my wife, Sharon. Our business name is Aron and Sharon. People always seem to like that. And I've been selling software, courses, training, doing affiliate marketing, all sorts of stuff. And I ran into Paperclip because I've been using AI like everyone has. And I wanted to automate a lot of the work that I was doing that I felt that could be automated, but I couldn't find really a harness for it.
Yep.
And Paperclip offered it. So that's when I went all in, as they say.
So you're like, I've been in affiliate marketing. You're probably more in the deep end than I am. I'm just promoting like one software that I have promoted for six
Right.
years, but we probably hang out in the same circles.
I've been a developer on and off since I was about 7 years old. So that's 1997. That's when I first learned coding. I've been building websites ever since, really. And since about 2008, I've been actually developing software, selling scripts, and I'm pretty good at sales. I'm pretty good. So I have like a broad skill set, so to speak. So I'm just kind of
Yep.
fortunate where I can create the product and I have the ability to sell it. And I usually tend to as they say in the gold rush back in the day, I tried to sell the shovels rather than use the shovel and dig for gold.
So before we begin, you obviously have done a lot of the stuff before AI came out, whether it's
right.
automation and whatnot. Using Paperclip, how has it impacted your business as far as automating things or just, sending, like, tell us how it has impacted it.
It's coming to the point where I've always tried and thought about, hey, how can I use this for development? I used to hire development teams for multiple line products and organize all of that. I got the domain names, I then built the product, I hired an SEO team to do the SEO for me, write crappy content, publish the crappy content anyways, because even though I knew it was crappy, it was supposed to rank. And I used to orchestrate and manage that all together with my wife. Then she got really good into SEA, right? The search engine advertisement, which is Google ads and Facebook ads and stuff like that. And how it really, coming back to your question, again, we're at the forefront. Paperclip's 2 to 3 weeks old now. So I think I found it a couple days after the release. And I had a domain name sitting around. I sort of collect domain names. And then I had a bunch that I wanted to do something with, but I didn't have the time to do it because I was already running all the other projects. And I just said, for shits and giggles, pardon my French, I just said, hey, Paperclip, can you? So I hired my CEO and I gave it my idea. I already have built a product, which is a script, a standalone script for building what some of your audience might know, a traffic exchange. And I gave it the source code to that. So it had all that context and was able to filter through that. And then I gave it some sales copy, some a few HTML files that Claude generated for me already. And I was like, just pick up and see where it goes. And it escalated quickly. It escalated quickly into now I have the full site done, like the product is done. It basically handled everything for me from start to finish, what I would normally do myself. So that's the long answer. The short answer to your question is tremendously, tremendously. It saves me a lot of time to take a product or like from idea to live, and actually where live is good, right? Like it's a solid product. It's a big difference. It's a tremendous difference.
Gotcha. And then is that the only tool you're using with Paperclip to make this magic happen is Claude API?
No, I'm actually getting back into Codex, dare I say, because of at the time of we're recording this, there is some stuff going on in the industry. But so I'm also looking back into Codex, and I'm adding that as a QA agent now in the companies, so that it actually verifies the work that Claude has done. But I'm also using GOGCLI. I believe that's
Mhm.
by Peter Steinberger, who is the creator of OpenClaw, and that allows me to do emails. My CEO is able to check the email, and that way I can email back and forth with the paperclip companies in a certain way where I have codes in the subject, so it knows each CEO knows what emails to check and which emails to skip. And what I basically do is at the beginning of my day, whenever I log on, I check the past day's work. I have like we discussed off camera here, but we're using the handy computer tool, handy dot computer, I think the URL, where it's like a free alternative for Whisperflow. And I just press the button and start ranting about what's good, what's not good. And I chuck that all in the email and I send it off. And then Paperclip and the CEO and Claude, however that works, picks it up. And it just starts delegating to the multiple agents, and start doing the work. So yeah, it's like instead of me going in there like and you probably have the same, right? Where we used to go in there and just do it ourselves. We now delegate it off, and while
Yeah.
it's doing its thing, we're doing another thing. So
Yeah.
let me see if I can share my screen for a quick second
Yeah.
here.
Go for it.
Window.
We're going to get into the screen sharing fun stuff.
Yes. So here's my tweet. Paperclip's pretty simple. It is Paperclip to Claude, Codex, or another adapter that you configure in Paperclip. It's not Paperclip, OpenClaw, Telegram, Claude, Paperclip, and then Codex, other adapter, right? Which is, I think, what you run into too, is it's going to be ending up in some sort of cycle of doom because it tries to override each other, and in the process, it loads up all the heartbeats and all the agents. And yeah, like keep it simple. And from there, what I would say and recommend is keep it simple. And then from there, slowly add on. And once you get to a working point, that's what I'm currently having, which is also where I'm sort of stuck myself. Because now I'm sort of where I'm at. I taught Paperclip to do as I do. If I'm stuck in my business, Paperclip will be stuck in its business. So
Yeah.
now what's the next? And I'm personally looking for that.
Okay.
But yeah, OpenClaw, yeah, fascinating. I don't understand why you would what like let me ask you, let's turn to
Yeah.
tables. Why would you want OpenClaw to manage your Paperclip?
I don't. I wanted to test it out because it's in there. Just because the connection is in there,
Gotcha.
I'm like, okay, this is a feature. How does it work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
But what
doesn't.
I did do is I reported everyone else to OpenClaw.
Hmm.
And my only thing was, how far can I push this thing? It wasn't like, to your point, like, do
Gotcha.
the paperclip thing in paperclip, do the OpenClaw thing in OpenClaw. It's not
Yeah.
supposed to be this complicated thing, right? You said you were using 3 to 4 max subscription, let's say $800 a month, among other API tokens. So let's round it up to 1,000.
Hmm.
How much has that saved you in dollar amounts that you would have paid people or your own hours sitting there and doing this yourself?
Hundreds of hours. Plain
It
and
saved you
simple.
that much. Because
Hundreds of
I
hours.
see a lot of people are like, the naysayers are like, you cannot
Hmm.
find a real use case for this stuff. This is just
No,
a fugazi,
no.
a fugazi.
Let's not tell him, Amit. Let's not tell him. I've seen the videos too, and yeah, I giggle and move on and have Paperclip build my business. If you don't have a vision and a clear path forward to begin with, then yes. But that's the same thing as um, installing Windows or Mac or whatever on a computer and then having no use case for Windows or for Mac. Then yes, it sucks. It's horrible. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But hundreds of hours, and
So give us
and
some tangible things. Like, what are some things that you have handed off that it's actually
so
building?
yeah. So let me share my paperclip. This is actually a little custom Mac application that I've built around Paperclip, which I hope to be releasing soon, open sources and all that good stuff. But it's called Paperclip Desktop, and it basically wraps around Paperclip. So it's the exact same thing as you would run into your browser, but it's an Electron Mac app. So instead of you having to run the terminal stuff, you just click it
Mhm.
twice and it opens up the app, starts up the server, and gives you Paperclip. But
Awesome.
let's dive into like what you said, right? What has it actually done for me? So if I go to one of my three companies, this is the traffic exchange script that I mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
This is March 6th, where the CEO heartbeat started. And let me see. I started off really, really, yeah, stupid simple, so to speak. Like I think most of us do, where I just had the first issue. So let me go through this quickly. The sales copy for the homepage. So I already sort of provided that, but it did it again, which was great. Not really, but which was great. Then I installed WordPress. It updated the homepage copy, the brand identity for traffic. And at the
Wait,
time,
wait,
I was
wait.
like, "What?"
You
Yes,
you you just lightly touched because this is like for magic for you. But you said
I'm sorry.
you updated the WordPress, and how did it go into your WordPress?
So I follow a guy on X, Peter Levels,
Mhm.
who shared the idea of having Claude Code. Because Claude Code runs on the terminal on the CLI, it can also run directly on your server. So I got a new VPS. I gave Claude Code full unrestricted access to that VPS.
To the
And
SSH and all that.
yes, everything. And
Yep.
it manages it for me. So first of all, I had it hardened security, which it did. And so now my VPS is sort of safe. And Claude Code is on it. So, AI is on it, controlling it. So who knows how safe it is, but at least
Yeah.
for the standard hackers and everything and the DDoS and all that stuff, it should be covered. Um, and then I just said, here's my domain name, trafficexchangescript.com. Can you configure that for, and I did this outside of Paperclip, to be honest. I did this
Yeah.
outside of Paperclip and I said, install WordPress for me. And it did. Does that answer your question?
Yes. So
So
that, I mean, for someone, and I'm sure you've done this too, I come from the background of you go to your hosting or whatever web host, then you click the one click WordPress install, then you watch it install, then you go in there, and then you install 20 plugins that you need
Mhm,
to make
mhm.
your WordPress site, working.
Yes.
How has that changed?
So for me, and hopefully for you too soon, that's in the past. I
You
didn't
don't
do
need
any
any
of
more
that.
plugins. Yeah.
Well, I need plugins, but I'm not the one managing it. I come from the mindset that AI is all knowing and all powerful, and it can do everything I want for me. So why would I go in and install WooCommerce, right? I have to sell the script, right? So I need WooCommerce naturally to sell it. And why would I do that? So I sent an email or I opened an issue and I said, yeah, we're going to need to sell this thing because I gave it access to the source code of the product that I was selling, the traffic exchange script. I was like, well, we need to zip this up and we need to put this in the product. And so you need to create the product, you need to set the pricing, you need to, create the sales page, link up and it did everything, everything.
In
From
WordPress for you.
yes, yes,
Okay.
it
Let's go
it
back to your paperclip. This is fascinating.
Let me go back to my
How do you
window.
find time to sleep?
What is that? Sleep. I've heard about it,
All
but it's been a while. Well, how
right. So
do I
let's
well
look through some of these. Yeah.
well by the way, how do I sleep? Paperclip.
Oh,
Because Paperclip does everything for me.
so
If that's not a convincer, an ad, a sale, I don't know what is. So I don't even know what it did here. You're seeing more and more agents getting our branding wrong. It's calling it traffic exchange, but it's traffic exchange script. So it just goes in through everything and just updates it. So that was that.
okay.
Let's see. Configure WooCommerce for digital delivery. So it already installed WooCommerce apparently at the time. And I think the CEO created this. Yeah, this isn't me. The CEO created this, created by CEO. This is, by the way, this is what I love about Paperclip is that you're able to go back and trace to the nth degree what happened, why, when, and what the
Mm-hmm.
effects and results were. That's just
Yeah.
incredible. So here it set up WooCommerce, waited for the zip for the founding engineer, blah, 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 blah. So again, like, it does everything for you automatically. And by the way, it scrolled back up to the top. Brand identity, updated the design deliverable. So it replaced that text that I asked. It wireframed 7 sales site pages. It set up the WordPress environment. So I think if I remember correctly, I did set that up myself, but then it went in there and started installing plugins and stuff like the plugins it thought it needed.
And the site looks slick. Like this is a site I would pay a professional, even if it's like through a theme. I wouldn't be building this. I would pay someone to do it, and your AI
Yeah,
has done it.
here we go. So we can take a quick look at the site. It does look like AI made it, right? Once you start recognizing the pattern, those of your viewers who know what Claude produces, then this is familiar to them. But still, it's a high quality looking site that is fully functional, fully works, contains everything on a sales page that I would have made myself. I had all the documentation. So in Paperclip, it had access to the source code. So in one of the tasks, I asked, by the way, let's put a Paperclip here because that's the same thing. You can see my Paperclip now, right? My browser.
Yep.
Yeah, it basically took my HTML, it just turned it into this, and then somewhere
Try the
they have a
search up top. I think I saw a search all the way to the top.
yeah, but I got it here, right? FAQ and docs
Okay.
page content for WordPress. So what I had to do is I had to do all the research for documentation for the product, right? So I had the product, I had the sales process, and then I started thinking through what would be the next thing that I would personally have to do. Oh, it's write documentation. Okay, can you write documentation for me? And it was sure. And it started writing up all the documentation. And now I had it then put it all into the WordPress installation. And now as you can see, yeah, it's a fully written documentation, including screenshots of the actual software with tutorials and
But you
training
did not
for.
add these screenshots.
No.
What the? Okay.
Nope. No. This is because of this feller, Sawyer Hood, the dev browser skill,
Okay.
and what it enables the AI to do. It's a skill, but now I think he turned it into a CLI too. But it fires up Chromium, like a test Chrome browser or whatever it is,
Mhm.
and it literally takes screenshots. So, and then it sends those screenshots to Claude to be able to also debug and verify what it did. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
So you
Yep.
so you ask it to, for example, in my script, I say, oh, develop this feature. It develops it, and then I say, check your own work by using the dev
Mhm.
browser skill. And it then goes into the browser, spins up a copy of the traffic exchange script in this case, logs in as the admin. You can see it happen on your screen, by the way. It clicks and does everything, and then can visually test if the product works. So it used to do the screenshots, and then I'm like, oh, well, wait a minute. If it can do, I don't think there are any screenshots in here, but I was like, well, if it can do screenshots, then can't it also save the screenshots and add images to my documentation? And it did. And that's one thing that I do a lot too, is I come up with something crazy and I'm like, am I that crazy or can it do it? And I just ask. And sometimes it does. Sometimes it says no. Sometimes it says, oh, I need this and that access and then I can. So yeah.
What is the craziest thing that you didn't think was possible? Well, first of all, I didn't even think putting together documentation with screenshots was possible. So that's crazy enough. But what is something that you're like, holy crap, it actually did that? Or
a
are we
big
expecting too much from our AI?
no. I think really the sky's the limit, and you're only limited by your own imagination in this case. I think the biggest WTF moment for me was I did not have a demo running of the traffic exchange script, and that's for this specific project, right? And I was looking at the homepage and just thinking to myself, one of those early mornings where I was writing the emails to go to the CEO, I was like, man, this view live demo button is there, like it was there in the design, but it didn't go anywhere. And I thought, this thing has full SSH access. I already created the demo folder on my server. I already did all the complicated DNS stuff. That's like the pre-work that you do have to do. Now thinking of it, I think Paperclip could do that, and Claude could do that too with the def browser skill, because you just tell it where to go and it'll go there and do it.
Mhm.
But I said, can you install the live demo for me? And as you can see, it did. And that was a
Yeah.
big WTF moment for me where I was like, oh, wait a minute, right? This is next level.
So it
So
did all of
yeah.
this and you didn't have to. And then you're basically just queuing it at the end while looking at the visual UI and making sure everything works.
So the demo is done, and that was my big WTF moment. I didn't think that it would actually be able to go this far. No, this was
Yeah, but can
big
we
one.
look at this thing? Can if you scroll down?
Sure. Now this is very, very basic, right? I haven't had it like go too much into this. I
Yep.
think I have a demo account. No, I don't. I do have, no, it's fine. I do have admin access. And this is also all created by AI. All I did was create a PRD, a product requirement document, and I had it develop the whole thing for me based on that. So let's see, it goes to manage and
Is this
members.
all with Claude?
Yes, 100% Claude.
Nice.
Yes. And
Nice.
you actually
Mhm.
see from the live demo, I'm actually starting to generate traffic. So Paperclip and Claude are also managing my SEO for me. So it's actually building backlinks actively, and leads are starting to come in into the live demo where people are, it's April 1st today, and the last one was March 29, 28, 24. People actually trying the script. So the funnel, so to speak, is working. And right now I'm just waiting for sales. Basically, that's what I'm,
This is where
uh,
we close the full loop, right? You have AI built it. You are
yes.
actually doing something with it. And then once that first dollar comes in, you're like, all right, now we're cooking with fire. We know this works. Now just replicate this 100,000 times and just keep buying Claude Max licenses and keep, doing it in every other niche.
Well, Well, I think it's obviously right. You can only do so much, and it has to be profitable. Now, so far, AI has been profitable for me in other, projects and products that I sell, but this hasn't been yet. But like that's the cost of doing business, right? You just try a lot of things, and whatever sticks is what you're going for. But the fact that all I had was the domain name and a couple HTML pages, and in 2 to 3 weeks, something like that, it actually turned it into a full-fledged sales site, e-commerce like funnel thing. It wrote the documentation and uploaded the demo. If we go to the blog, it's actually on a schedule. It's writing and publishing blog posts for me so as to get more exposure in Google. So basically, I'm slowly creeping towards fully running that project within my business, but that part of my business is running on autonomously to the point where I'm now looking at my existing, components and products that I sell within my business and see, hey, how can I safely, without risking any MRR, monthly recurring revenue,
Yeah.
um, to offload that work either in support or development, or stuff like that, because all the little things or actually, adding up and costing money and time. So yeah, like slowly we're creeping towards what you say, that closed loop. Absolutely.
Okay. If we go back to your paperclip, I have a couple of questions before we wrap up. What's
It's
your recommendation on how do I even like figure out the org structure? Or is that just something I talk to my Claude? How does that work?
it's a
As
very
far
good
as how
question.
many agents you need to hire?
It's a very good question. Go check out my GitHub. It's Aron Prins or github.com/Aron Prins. Up here on my profile, you'll see the Paperclip Company Playbook. I just now see that it has 47 stars, so I'm pretty happy with that. And it's a practical playbook for setting up an AI agent company in Paperclip that actually works. It is very tempting to look at your Paperclip and go to your organization and then see, oh, wait, I have a WordPress developer and I have a head of support and a head of sales and a head of this and a head of that. But the more you add, I do think the more complicated it gets. And you need to, if it's your first paperclip company, go for it. Do what you think is right, get what you need, and get going. Don't waste too much time trying to get it perfect on the first try because you won't. Uh, I certainly did it. My
Yeah.
biggest mistake, my biggest mistake was, which was in traffic exchange script, by the way. And let me see if I can quickly go to the issues and see where it happened. Team awareness, CEO briefing, refactor WooCommerce, right support channel setup guide. Why? Build a launch day partner outreach list. Why? Like there's all sorts of little nitpicky things. And what happened was is I put in my CEO's heartbeat, I put the text something along the lines of an empty queue is a bad queue. And it went to work
Mhm.
because it thought, whatever, hey, I got to make Aron happy. I got to produce stuff. Right, here we go. Write a support ticket triage guide. I've never heard of the word. Well, I heard of the word triage, but it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I don't need it. Make all sorts of little
Rewrite
nit.
all earlier blog posts.
Like like write 20 blog posts, and then even worse was or is because you then give it access to your WordPress, it thinks, oh, I have access to WordPress. Let's publish these 20 blog articles that are crappy written, not checked. Let's publish them all at once. Because Google will love that. And Google doesn't love that. Google will automatically mark you as spam. So that's the stuff that you learn. But for the
Yeah.
organization, get what you need and then slowly build on top of that until you can hone it back down, hone it back in, and then have it run autonomously and have fun and go on to the next one. Yeah.
Right. All right. Let me share my screen because I have a couple of
Yes.
questions on my paperclip that
Let's go.
maybe you can advise me. So
I hope so.
you can see my paperclip here.
Yes, sir.
All right. If I go to org, how often are you changing the models? So if I go to my CEO, are you actually going in and changing the models or are you leaving Claude for all of them?
I'm using Claude for all.
All right. So I don't need to go
What
to my copywriter and go here and they, instead of Claude, use like a, or a cheaper Claude model or just change the whole model to something
the
else.
The only thing that I would say is that for Claude, for the CEO, use Opus because not because it's the more expensive one, but it's just smarter, right? It's just better. But supposedly, and this is pure speculation, Sonnet 4.6 is based off of Opus 4.5, from
Okay.
what I understand. So Sonnet 4.6 is, in theory, as good as Sonnet 4.5 or as Opus 4.5 was. Sonnet 4.6 is incredibly capable and is pretty much running it for me. It's like
Gotcha.
the CEO is Opus and then the rest is all Sonnet because it's just good enough. Um,
Gotcha. Okay. Do you mess with these like importing and exporting companies? Have you done that yet? Because I saw that. I'm
I
like, okay,
I have a Dota did a release on company.sh where you can find pre-built companies, pre-built skills, all that cool stuff. I did turn my playbook into an importable company. I believe it's all the way at the bottom with a whopping 0. Yes, there we go. The bottom one, 0 downloads, which is, I'm super, super proud of that. But that is one that you can download and import into Paperclip. Um,
Okay,
but
that's
I
interesting.
haven't,
I
I
did not know
haven't,
that.
yeah, and I haven't played with it yet. But I have one of my existing projects in my company that I desperately want to get into Paperclip. And I'm actually thinking about creating a skill where I can do all of the prep work and then just bam, import it into Paperclip so that I don't have to do it all manually.
Gotcha.
That
Speaking of
makes sense.
skills,
Yes.
how of like how much time should people spend on the CEO versus the rest of the agents, or how are you setting it all up?
They're all equally important. Um, I've had one company do really, really shitty, and I could not figure out. And I've recorded some videos as well. I've always said you have to continuously update your agents. You change, your company changes, your vision changes for where you want your company to go, or your project, whatever you want to call it. And I made the grave mistake of not checking my agents. And one company was doing, the traffic exchange script was doing really well, and the other one was doing crap. And then I looked, and the crappy one had really outdated and bad agents, and the traffic exchange script had the really good one. So I had to consolidate the two, copy all the good stuff over, and all of a sudden, my crappy project, started doing really well too. So I'm continuously in here. I have Claude go into my working folder to analyze the agents, see what you can improve. Routines that you have too that are in beta now, but are going to be out of beta soon.
Right.
There's a lot of repetitive work that we're doing. Checking in my case, right? Checking email that could easily be a routine rather than gobbling up heartbeat because it doesn't have to check the email every heartbeat, only when it applies, right? So
Gotcha.
there's all little thing. But sorry, long story short, skills and agents and configuration, you should be in there all the time, updating and checking.
Gotcha. Anything else? I see a bunch of new settings here. Any
Uh,
power tips, or people starting out, like, do they need to worry about all these plugins, experimental features, or just spin it up and start running with it?
Just spin it up and start getting a feel yourself for how it works. Don't start with plugins. Don't. Well, this is again just one guy's advice. I am by no means a leading source here, but unless you want me to be, of course. But just start using it. Like that's
Yep.
all I say, because that's the best way for you to get a feel for what it does, how it does it, and then for you, it should click like, oh, wait, this is how it works. This is what it does. What if? And the moment you start thinking, what if, you got it. And then it's off to the races.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest shift for me and most people is figuring out that this isn't a one-to-one like we're used to with ChatGPT. This is a one-to-many,
Yes.
and you don't need, you are only bound by the amount of credits or tokens you have, which with local AI and the NVIDIAs of the world releasing their hardware, it's going to be a thing of the past because then we're going to have local compute.
Yeah. And I think it's a combination of that and vision. If you know what you want, and if
Yep.
you're able to clearly communicate what you want the output to be,
Mhm.
then it'll do it. And it'll do it. And it'll do it first shot too. It'll do crazy stuff. It's crazy complex stuff first shot. As long as as long as it's all
Your
worked out
instructions are
properly.
clear. Yeah. Where can people find you and what's next? What company are you building next?
You can find me on x.com/Aron Prins, hub.com/Aron Prins. Just try everywhere /Aron Prins. Just try it to see if I'm there. What is next for me? Having fun, man. I'm
Nice.
just having a blast. This goes back many, many years, but I remember coming home from kindergarten back in the day, and my dad showing me the first computer, like the big white box with the 17-inch thick monitor, and booting it up and like the modem, right? The first time on the internet. And he was like looking at me. I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "The future." And I'm like, "Oh my God." And like, I'm here again. Like, this is it again. Like, what we can do
Absolutely.
now is, yeah, unfathomable compared to back in 1998 when e-commerce first started and people said, "Internet? I'm not going to put my credit card in there. Are you nuts?" And
Yes.
this is the same thing. So yeah, man, I don't know what I'm gonna
Having
do.
fun.
I'm gonna keep building and keep trying to push this thing to make money in cool ways and pay
Nice.
for.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Aaron. And thank you, everyone watching. Next time, we'll have Aaron show us magic tricks instead of paperclip, maybe. I appreciate your time, and we'll drop all the links down below. So check it out. And until next
Yes,
time,
please.
keep prompting.